Thank you so much, Garima. And good evening, everyone, for being here till this late. I'm sitting here with two beloved sons of this very city, this very soil, who have not only made the city but the country proud too. And they have built a business with utmost dedication, perseverance, and a lot of love. Brothers Amit and Anurag were born here, went to the same schools almost, IIT Delhi also, yeah, worked in similar cities, right, and built businesses together. And here's the best part, they were born on the same day, 2 years apart. Is that correct? All right, so many similarities. So thank you so much for joining. So Anurag, my first question to you, आपने बताया कि you went to the same school, same college and all. तो ऐसा होता था कि आपको कुछ like स्कूल में कुछ हुआ तो हम बोलते थे ना कि वो हमारा कुछ मैटर हो गया तो आप अमित के पास जाते थे दौड़ के कि भाई बड़े हैं 2 साल आपसे तो आपको हेल्प करेंगे, करते भी थे वैसे?
तो 2 years apart थे हम दोनों और more than a brother he was also a friend. तो मैं ऐसे समझ लो कि मेरी adolescence 2 साल पहले आ गई. So all the things that we did together, we were partners in crime. We had a lot of fun together, and I owe a lot to my learnings, advanced learnings to him. जब ये मैथ्स पढ़ता था 9th की तो मैं साथ में इसके पढ़ लेता था. तो इसके पीछे पीछे मैं भी पढ़ लिया.
All right, great. You कभी वो आए मदद मांगने के लिए आपसे स्कूल या कॉलेज में, and you kind of मैटर हो गया यार कुछ चलो मेरे साथ में?
लड़ाई झगड़ा हमने कभी किया ही नहीं.
Okay.
मैटर तो उनके होते हैं जो लड़ते हैं.
Correct.
ये तो बहुत पढ़ाकू टाइप का बच्चा था, फर्स्ट आता था.
बट उन्होंने बोला कि वो आपको फॉलो करते थे.
हाँ पर मैं फर्स्ट नहीं आता था.
Okay.
और ये आता था.
Okay.
तो अगर पंगा होता तो मेरा होता था, इसको नहीं बुलाना सकते.
All right. So आपने बोला झगड़ते नहीं थे. I have a post, I have an Instagram post of yours, Amit. Can we see that post here probably? If you can see that Instagram post. Yeah, this one. You see? So you posted this one on, I think, 17th of April, 2023. It is quite a touching one.
Yeah.
तो ये कोई स्पेशल डे था या अनुराग गुस्से पे थे? अनुराग गुस्से थे इसीलिए आपने उनको मनाने के लिए ऐसा पोस्ट डाला उनके लिए?
हमारे झगड़े होते नहीं है तो एक्चुअली इस तरीके का कोई सीन नहीं है. मी एंड अनुराग आर एक्चुअली मोर फ्रेंड्स एंड ब्रदर्स. आई विल बी कैंडिड, बेस्ट फ्रेंड्स होते हैं वैसे हमारा सीन. And we do a lot of stuff together, a lot of vacations together, everything is together only. And we still live in the same house in a joint family. तो हम लोग का ऐसा कुछ वैसा सीन होता नहीं. It's more like love for each other, unconditional, I would say.
Okay. So there is this line in this post which says that, there was a time when we fought for small things in bachpan. Yeah, there's this line in this post.
वो जो है वो छोटे छोटे झगड़े तो होते थे. मतलब मैं थोड़ा अनुराग से बड़ा था तो फिर लड़ाई झगड़े में मैं जीत जाता था.
Okay.
तो छोटी मोटी चीज़ों पे होते थे, ऐसे कोई मेजर चीज़ नहीं. मतलब छोटे थे. जब मैं सो जाता था तो अनुराग मेरी पिटाई करता था कि ये उठे हुए तो मार नहीं सकते इसको. तो सोते हुए मेरे को मारता था अनुराग.
अब झगड़े नहीं होते अनुराग?
Small little things. बचपन में तो क्या है कि when you are 8 and the brother is 10, तो 8 and 10 में difference बहुत होता है in terms of let's say how you're physically built. तो from that perspective you would fight on let's say small things, pencil, खिलौना, रबर, ये वो टाइप की चीज़ें. तो ये थोड़ा सा मतलब डोमिनेटिंग रहा इन दैट सेंस. तो ये तो दिन में मेरी पिटाई कर देता था, फिर जब सो जाता था तब मैं पिटाई करता था इसकी. but in a cute way. So we never kind of fought. But it was more about that. But one important part, हमारी जो पेरेंट्स थे ना, पापा मम्मी, जब भी हम लड़ते थे ना, तो अगर लड़ रहे हैं हम लोग वहाँ पे आते थे, they would not ask किसकी गलती है, वो दोनों को लगता था लाफा. Okay. तुम लड़ रहे हो. So what that created in between two of us was bonding. मम्मी आती थी ना तो हम दोनों एक दूसरे को हक करने लगते थे. अरे भाई कैसा है कि दोनों को पढ़ेंगे, क्या फ़ायदा है लड़ने का. So we would basically bond because the parents would kind of beat both of us.
मतलब साथ में कुछ करना है तब से ही डिसाइड कर लिया था. All right, so I'll come to your business. When you started in 2007, Jaipur, there were circumstances because of which you started here. Father was detected of cancer very late, he passed away. But at that point in time, obviously it was circumstance, but there was not much talent here, or at least we did not know about it. But you did not think so, you brothers did not think so. But today, there are completely IT focused, as I was speaking to you about global capability centers. They are looking at you in Jaipur. Do you feel, vindicated? Aapka decision sahi tha, and what was there and what changed now? If I can start with Anurag.
सौरभ, इंडिया में ना बहुत टैलेंट है, कूट कूट के टैलेंट भरा है. हम दोनों आईआईटी पहुंच गए, पर जो यहाँ पे कोई बैठा होगा, कोई लेट से एमआरएसी का लड़का या कोई आर्या कॉलेज का लड़का, वो आईआईटी क्यों नहीं बना? उसके 5 नंबर नहीं आए, बस इतना ही फ़र्क है. तो इंडिया में अपॉर्चुनिटी नहीं मिलती. तो व्हेन वी केम बैक टू जयपुर, यहाँ पे टैलेंट डेंसिटी फॉर पेडिग्री कॉलेजेस नहीं थी, बट बहुत हंग्री लोग थे टियर 2 टियर 3 कॉलेजेस के. और वहाँ पे वी आइडेंटिफाइड द टैलेंट इन दोज कॉलेजेस, रिक्रूटेड देम एंड देन ट्रेन देम, एंड दे आर परफॉर्मिंग बेटर देन मोस्ट ऑफ द आईआईटियंस आई वुड नो. तो टैलेंट को तराश, हीरा तो सब जगह है, हीरे को तराशने वाली बात है. तो जयपुर के अंदर हमको ऐसे बहुत लकीली बाय गॉड्स ग्रेस वी बिल्ट अ कोर टीम who basically were working for the purpose, aligned with the vision, and working extra hard. And they have been punching above their weight since then. They are now CTOs, CMOs in the company, and it is immensely pleasurable to work with them. High work ethic, high quality of talent.
Amit, your take?
I think similar to Anurag's only. It's about like we had to train the kids back then. We hired freshers because there were no experienced people willing to join a garage company. तो शादी की टेबल लगी है, वाइट कपड़ा बिछा हुआ है, ऐसा करके ऑफिस था हमारा.
Yeah, I know.
तो प्रैक्टिकली ऐसे ऑफिस में कोई सीनियर तो आएगा नहीं. तो वी एंडेड अप हायरिंग पीपल फ्रॉम जयपुर हु डिड नॉट गेट प्लेस्ड, एंड दे वर द फर्स्ट जॉइनीज. बट आई वुड से दैट they are most exceptional people, candidly. I think we trained them ourselves to code, and they grew with the system. As CarDekho kept on growing, they had to take bigger roles. They had to learn how to manage 1 million traffic. They had to manage 100 million traffic. So practically, they each one expanded their own horizons in front of us. And what amazes me is that if I were to just think from a pedigree perspective, nobody is from a pedigree. Like IIT se koi nahi hai. But I think they are more talented than IITians I have met.
Okay. So, you also often talk about, that people who have been there for ages in your companies and moved up the rank. Now, if I say, and please correct me why I'm wrong, is that people stay in smaller towns, maybe in Jaipur or somewhere, is because in one company because there are lack of opportunities, and getting into Girnar Soft or CarDekho Group for that matter, probably they don't have an alternative. Am I right? Wrong? How do you say?
No, I don't agree to that. अब scenario ये नहीं है actually. अब क्या technology side पे at least barriers have been broken, which means कि work from home भी allowed है. आपको जो talent है वो salary यहाँ पर equally यहाँ पर इतनी मिल सकती है आपको जयपुर में जो दिल्ली में मिल रही है. So if you want to retain talent, you'll have to obviously match salary. Remember that. It won't so happen that you can retain a talent on just basis location, is my view. We made sure that everybody grew with the company, and I think that's why people stayed back. Their roles expanded, financially they were doing better every year. That goes without saying, but I think the learning part is also equally critical. I remember the early days when we did not have money to pay much salaries. People were getting in the range of 10 to 20,000 bucks. People had double, triple offers of salaries at that point, but they chose to stay back because they were learning a lot. So I think two things that matter, it's not just finances, it's also learning. In a very early stage company or like ours in 2007 to 10 time frame, the kind of learning each person had was immense. And that's why they never left for even double, triple salaries. It was not about leaving Jaipur or not. Later stages when the startup became much larger, they stayed back because they were growing. And obviously for all the old people, we have given a lot of stocks. Therefore, it's a lot more than the salary in my view.
Right.
But I think people stay back for learning and growth. And it's not just financial growth, it's growth in the role.
Okay, all right, great. So, I was listening to some of the interviews of you, Anurag, leading here, there. So, comes across, you are the aggressive one and he is the calmer one. Am I correct? Is that the correct? So, how does the balance come? I know that, you talk about things, but what's that? How do you reach a midpoint when there is, a decision has to be made? So, Anurag, I'll check with you first because you're the calmer one.
Yes, so I think when one is the more aggressive one, the other one has to play a balancing role. So we are like yin and yang in that sense. And there have been times where, let's say, we would make decisions collectively where he would be more aggressive on a particular point, I will be more data oriented, कि इसको ऐसे नहीं, I will also, let's say, be cautious and show him the risk side. But we would basically, whatever we decide, either he wins or I win, but once we decide, it is an unsaid agreement कि we will not look back and say कि मैंने तो ऐसा बोला था. So you have to trust the other person whenever you are kind of losing or winning an argument, and then after that discussion is done and over, the decision is won. Then we both stand behind the decision.
And how often is that happens that there is a difference of, say, opinion, or you agree to disagree to things?
In the current...
And is there a trend, like, in particular, say, in tech, something Anurag says he always wins. In investment, probably what you say. Is there something like that?
No, I think the way we run it is that we have different areas of work. So firstly, I think if brothers are working together, having lesser areas of overlap is advantageous, so that there are lesser friction points. Where we meet to take decisions are more strategic ones, like the ones that will change the course of the company, buying asset, selling asset, large investment decisions. That's where I think the alignment becomes important when you divide the work areas. I think there may have been areas where I may have had a different point of view and he may have had a different point of view. I think he's a good listener. I'm not that great a listener, but I'm very impatient to take decisions. I want it to be done like now, right, quickly. So I try to take faster decisions. A lot of my decisions are also gut-based. It's not always data-backed, but gut has worked somehow. You feel that, आपको feel आ रही होती कि ये चलेगा, that way. But अब company का जो scale और size है उसमें gut-based decision लेना possible नहीं होता. Now it's very data-backed, very well researched. We have teams which help us, take the right decision by presenting the right data. And more or less, I think the alignment is very high on when it's data-backed.
Right.
It's very difficult to, question data finally.
So who's more data-driven, you or Anurag? Who's the one?
No, I think both
data driven तो मुझे लगता है दोनों हैं आज की डेट में. I don't think one
both
is
of you are
more data
engineers,
driven than another.
obviously. So
But I basically also look at risks more often than, let's say, the leap of faiths. So I think that's where the distinction lies between how
I'm
we
an
look at
optimist
problem.
basically. I think ये तो चलेगा ही. कुछ
I
भी
don't mean to say I'm pessimist, but I also look at the risk side.
और मुझे
अभी
लगता
क्या
है
डिसाइड करना है बता दीजिए.
मुझे लगता है रिस्क से तो इश्क है.
हाँ वो तो है डेफिनेटली. तो अभी ये बताइए कि कभी डेडलॉक हो गया तो who's the arbitrator at home? किसके पास मतलब फाइनल अथॉरिटी है कि वो बोलेंगे अच्छा आपको ऐसे करना है, आपको ऐसे करना है? कोई है ऐसा या अपने में ही सुलझ लेते हैं?
आपस में
There is no arbitrator. हम दोनों को डिसाइड करना है करना क्या है. Eventually मतलब किसका आर्गुमेंट विन करेगा in that leap of faith. I think it sometimes is his let's say point of view, sometimes mine. There is no single answer कि ये जीतेगा या फिर इससे जाके पूछना है. There is nothing like that. Between the two of us, you have to decide.
Okay. So I was listening to some of their interviews, and I think, Anurag and both Amit also likes to do a lot of SWOT analysis of any decision, and you said that data-driven decision making आप करते हो. तो अनुराग, अगर मैं आपको बोलूँ आप एक SWOT analysis करो इनका, as a business partner, not as a brother, as a business partner.
I think Amit has a large vision carrying capability. So he, अगर कुछ X कर रहे हो तो 100X कैसे करना है? I think he carries that vision. And he also has the ability to kind of translate that vision into, let's say, purpose for people. So he also inspires a lot of people in a way that they basically are able to do a lot more than what they are capable of. And I think fast decision making and gut की बात तो अमित ने करी थी. So overall from that perspective, his strengths are kind of doing fast decision making, being very agile in doing things, inspiring people to do things. On the weakness side, I feel that sometimes that he is quite impatient with results, and sometimes what, let's say, process needs to kind of follow its own course. Bypassing करने से कई बारी you cut corners and you basically build a unstable, let's say, outcome. So sometimes those kind of weaknesses arise because of this fast decision making.
Okay. And if I have to, but you've missed out on ONT, which is opportunities and threat, but that's okay. If I have to reverse the role and if I have to ask you.
I think strengths, Anurag basically is very, very calm and and listens a lot. So he's a good listener. I think it's a big strength. I think he's very data oriented. He maybe on a very extreme side where he wants to see a lot more data points before he wants to take a decision. So his decisions obviously will be far more calculated in the sense, right? I think that helps. Operationally, I think sees a lot of numbers, understands and takes decision. So I think operationally he becomes better for that reason. That like he doesn't hack things. I am a hacker in a way, right? If I put growth hacks, etc., bypassing systems, processes to try out things, is far more, structured on how to go about things. On the area of opportunity, I think he can take faster decisions in my view. I sometimes feel he could be faster for sure. It takes too much time at times to get a decision done with him.
ओके ऑलराइट ग्रेट सो ये जो धीमा आपका प्रोसेसर थोड़ा उनका धीमा नहीं बोलूँगा कि शायद ज़्यादा डेटा प्रोसेस करता है बोल के थोड़ा टाइम लेता है तो ऐसा कभी हुआ है कि आपने ऑफिस में काम कर रहे हो एंड बाय द वे फॉर दोज हु डू नॉट नो दे हैव घर का नाम जो हम लोग कहते हैं चिकी एंड रिकी इफ आई एम नॉट रॉन्ग तो ऐसा हुआ है कि ऑफिस में यार रिकी जल्दी बोलना है यार ऐसा होता है कि कभी थोड़ा जल्दी कर दो ऐसा
ये तो अक्सर हो जाता है कॉल लगा के या बगल में ही केबिन है इसका जस्ट वॉक इन हमें इसका क्या करना है जल्दी बता क्लोज कर वो तो अक्सर होता है
ओके कैसे रिएक्ट करते हैं आप तभी क्या बोलते हैं अभी रुको थोड़ा सा मुझे टाइम दो
नहीं ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता आई थिंक वी जस्ट पुल ईच अदर फ्रॉम वेयर एवर वी आर चाहे वो कॉल पे हो चाहे वो केबिन से ट्रैक करना हो या जाके बैठना हो सामने कि अब जवाब दे साले तो आई थिंक ऑल ऑफ दोज थिंग्स आई थिंक इट्स वेरी कैजुअल बिटवीन टू ऑफ अस इन दैट सेंस
बिगर इज द डिसीजन however bigger is the business decision or the strategy decision could be
तो because we stay in the same house जो भी larger let's say strategic discussions है we would sit in the night at 12 1 whatever discuss 30-40 minutes तो जो let's say longest duration decisions है वो वैसे है और जो teams के साथ हैं they basically are in the office in a little more professional environment
okay all right so in terms of business philosophy I see that you guys respect and look up to Tata Group a lot, which we call, Salt to Aviation Company, Tata Group, Salt to Aviation Company, which is into everything. Now you started with something, but now I slowly see that you're dabbling into various other sectors, markets. So is it like something is coming to you and you're taking it, or it's a conscious decision of, doing something similar to what Tatas have done in different sectors?
I think we are not like Tata is into steel, salt, whatnot, TCS. Our journey has been far more, around the consumer. सेम बंदा है जाता है एक गाड़ी खरीदता है तो CarDekho पे आता है चाहे यूज़ खरीदे न्यू खरीदे फिर उसको फाइनेंस लेना होता है तो हमने फाइनेंस का बिजनेस चालू कर दिया नाउ वी डू अराउंड 20,000 crore ऑफ लेंडिंग एवरी ईयर तो वो फाइनेंस का बिजनेस वहाँ से चालू हुआ क्योंकि सेम कंज्यूमर की नीड थी फिर उस सेम कंज्यूमर को हमने देखा वो हर साल इंश्योरेंस रिन्यू कराता है तो हमने इंश्योरेंस देखो बना दिया फिर सेम कंज्यूमर हेल्थ और लाइफ इंश्योरेंस लेता है तो हमने इंश्योरेंस देखो में हेल्थ और लाइफ इंट्रोड्यूस कर दिया सेम कस्टमर फाइनली गाड़ी बेचता है तो हमने यूज कर क्लासिफाइड प्लेटफॉर्म बना दिया सेम बंदा जाके कार रेंटल पे लेता है सेल्फ ड्राइव तो हमने रेव करके कंपनी उसको एक्वायर किया बिकॉज इट्स द सेम कस्टमर तो प्रैक्टिकली इफ यू सी व्हाट वी हैव डन इज अराउंड द सेम कंज्यूमर वी हैव जस्ट फॉलोड हिज जर्नी अभी आफ्टर सेल्स में नहीं आए हैं बट दैट्स ऑब्वियसली द नेक्स्ट वन वी कैन लुक एट But point I'm trying to make is we have been very strategic about using our strengths, that is the same ecosystem, the same customer, and what we have done very beautifully is that trust is the underlying asset. Like Tata Group, अगर Salt भी निकालता है, Tanishq भी निकालता है, तो why it works is because everybody trusts Tata. So we want to make a very trustworthy brand across these fields. So if I launch something new, our product should be a trustworthy product. और India में trust का बहुत value है. What I've realized is brands that have lived the test of time are the ones that have been very trustworthy. So our endeavor is to build something trustworthy across all our verticals. And that's why we still read, all the consumer feedbacks on a daily basis. Because if you keep that pulse and check on what consumer is feeling, what your customers are feeling, what dealers are feeling, and you're able to establish and address timely the grievances, the trust gets established and make a better product too. That has been a constant endeavor. So from Tata Group, we are inspired on trust. But our journey has been around the same consumer, building verticals after verticals around the same consumer.
Now that I look at it, seems like a very good strategy. So your CAC actually goes down a lot for newer businesses, right? If you're doing this.
And there's a lot of synergy also in two businesses, frankly.
To add to it, Ratan Tata sir has also been an early investor into our company, and we both met him when he was there, and There's a lot of inspiration we drew from that meeting. And structurally also we have created the group in such a way that all the businesses have CEOs now. And we take more strategic group promoter calls, and the CEOs are operationally running those businesses. So the lot of cultural things have also been absorbed from how a Tata group has functioned or evolved over the years. There's a lot of legacy. Tata group has more than 100 years of legacy of kind of serving the nation. So we are just starting out. I think it's not even a fair comparison. We are starting out in that journey. But we have been building businesses in the adjacency spaces so far. And we are not like a salt to aviation right now, but the idea is to kind of serve the consumer and all the things that he needs around the mobility and auto ecosystem that we are doing.
Okay, okay. And I will stick to that point of entrepreneurship, which you just spoke about, which you believe in. I've seen a lot of CEOs in your companies given, free charge to do what they want, until unless there is a bigger strategic decision which is taken at the group level. What's the philosophy out there? How are you empowering them? When you say empowering, what exactly are you doing to empower them? Anurag?
So I think with great power comes great responsibility. And when you structure the group in such a way that you want people to have empowerment, you also have to align their incentives accordingly, whether it is ESOPs or equity, or let's say giving them a free hand to hire their leadership team. You also need to provide a guardrails and cushioning system on where they fail, because you may have some vision or foresight that this will not work, but you make that room for, let's say, negotiation, that either you understand my point, or if you make that mistake, have this as a checkpost or a milestone, and if you clear this, then you do this, otherwise you kind of come back to this point. So you have to provide a lot of, let's say, safety nets and guardrails to these entrepreneurs, and they also sometimes surprise you. It's not something that you know everything. And sometimes your wisdom of how you have run the group over the years also benefits them. So overall, different functions have kind of benefited immensely from creating this structure where there is right incentives aligned to the team, to the founder itself, and also the cultural fabric of the organization, where how the value system of the company should not be changing, like around trust, or lean ecosystem, or let's say agile ecosystem. All of those things, those values are not compromisable.
So these milestones that you just spoke about, that if you reach there, then the trajectory is different. How are you arriving at that? Is it in consultation with the person you are apportioning that responsibility to, or is it taken by you and then conveyed?
So it is built ground up.
Or give me an example of this, probably.
Yes, you build this ground up with consultation with the founder itself. So he'll sit with his leadership team, make an annual operating plan of how he wants to kind of run his business and at what rate he wants to grow the revenue, expenses, everything. We then basically have a larger strategic meeting on whether that plan is, let's say, aligned to what we want to do this year. There are, let's say, more aggression on the revenue side, or let's say watchfulness of the cost side. Then once we iterate with the founder, then we basically sign off on the plan, and then we track against that operating plan.
Okay.
So look, to create a founder type structure, you'll have to give equity firstly. And whenever you put in money, you'll have to dilute the founder. So basic math simple is that, if you have to guide somebody at a level, ye karna, then he's not a founder. Founders decide what they want to do, they see a vision. So first is identifying the right person who can see a vision. Then is about aligning equity or financial structure so that, he can have a skin in the game. Third is allocating capital and telling him that every time you will take money from me, your equity will go down. So better take it very carefully, because you're going to lose your own money while you raise from me. So that's the structure. And we basically make sure that the enabling functions are available in the early journey for all the founders. And once they grow very large, then they can have their own team, CFO separated out, HR head separated out. But initially the whole ecosystem supports to nurture this so that person can only focus on business. So I think if you have a structure in which you are not guiding the person, rather you are hearing his vision and hearing his vision evolve, or enabling his vision and play a role of enabler, that's when it works best.
Right, correct. All right. So with your permission, if we can take some questions from the audience. So if you have any questions, do raise your hand. Do introduce yourself very quickly, and please pitch mat marna yaar. Problem hai to wo पूछ लो और solve करा लो, ठीक है? So we see hands there.
So my name is Nishita Goyal, sir, And I want to ask the question from both of you that after so many years of experience in building your own startup, building your own company, and investing in so many startups, what is that one common philosophy that has never changed? It has always remained constant for both of you.
One philosophy that has remained unchanged.
I think high integrity, पहले बंदा फिर धंधा बोलता है ना अमित, तो high integrity
बहुत
I think
famous
is the core
dialogue है
value
वो.
of how you want to kind of invest into other startups.
You invest in the person, and ideas can change, is what I believe. And that philosophy we have kind of agreed upon that बंदे पे आप वो लगाते हो. It's about the person itself. I think that's something that we have followed all through.
All right. There was another hand, I think there.
Hi, Amit. I'm Bhanuwats I'm a founder of Hindsight Tech. We are into hardware and IoT and Edge AI. So with the evolution of AI, and then also I think the evolution of cybersecurity issues happening around, how do you see that Edge AI and the local Edge AI is going to explode in the future?
I'll let Anurag answer it. He handles our cyber security.
Okay.
I think we also have something in AI going on in-house also. If you can tell us about that also while answering this question.
I think cybersecurity is a separate field in itself. It is AI is exposing one part of it, but cybersecurity in general is like a very important field because data privacy is something that Indians are generally not very wary of. And with, let's say, advanced misuse of these data points, I think all organizations need to have some kind of budgets or initiatives against cybersecurity. We are very, very particular in our organization that no PI data is kind of available to even the developer or database architect. All the vulnerabilities are regularly scanned, external threats, internal threats, SOPs around how data is gonna be passed or handled to the, let's say, sales executives. All of those things need to be defined very carefully, and you need to have a third-party validations of your systems on how you want to kind of make a system secure, because internal facing your CTO may not give you the complete picture or may not be aware of the complete picture. On the AI front, I believe that the number of ways innovation, kitne innovation se fraud ho sakta hai, AI is kind of getting there. I mean, I've heard of cases where a phone call would come in Amit's voice and asking for money, or a video call would be coming with your face, persona, everything, and kind of trying to scam you. So I think we need to create awareness campaigns on how these AI-generated frauds for the normal, let's say, people or the audience is kind of happening, so that they don't get skimmed of money. And AI in general, it is influencing in a big way on how we engage with technology and content, and is gonna be kind of the next big change in how all, जैसे मोबाइल ने आके क्रांति पैदा करी थी ना, अब AI एक नई क्रांति पैदा करेगा on how the businesses will evolve or consume their services or agents.
Thanks. So do you think that offline edge on the device has got some future? I mean, that has to be completely offline, if that can be a solution for it.
It's subjective, but yeah, I think that can be a potential solution.
Okay.
All right, thank you so much. Next question, anyone? You maybe, this side also. Okay, go ahead. And then you come back this side.
Hello, sir. Hello, everyone. I'm myself Madhusan Sau. I'm the co-founder of Photographia. Photographia is basically in wedding industry, tech and complete standardization, right? So अभी हमारा अर्ली ट्रैक्शन काफ़ी अच्छा है, तो हम लोग अभी इन्वेस्टर के लिए जा रहे हैं, तो हमें कुछ प्रॉब्लम्स आ रही है, लाइक इन्वेस्टर को कैसे फ़िल्टर किया जाए, क्योंकि पैसा लगाने को तो सब रेडी है, क्योंकि प्रॉफिट साइड अच्छा है तो सब लोग पैसा लगा सकते हैं, बट इन्वेस्टर का पर्सपेक्टिव कैसा चेक किया जाए, कैसे उसको फ़िल्टर किया जाए. तो बेसिक कुछ पॉइंट्स, जैसे आपने अभी बोला कि आप रतन टाटा जी के पास भी गए थे, तो लाइक उनका तो बहुत ही अच्छा था, राइट? तो कैसे फ़िल्टर कर सकते हैं? एनीथिंग ऑन दैट प्लीज़.
You have a good problem, boss. आपको इतने लोग पैसा देना चाहते हैं. But yeah, Amit, please help.
Look, I think good investors will have a good word of mouth with the other companies. So I always have made sure that we have spoken to the founders who were funded by them for the companies that did not work. तो जहाँ बंद होगी कंपनी, उसके फाउंडर से बात करो जिस फंड ने इन्वेस्ट किया था. हाउ दैट गाय वॉज ट्रीटेड इज मोर इंपॉर्टेंट देन सक्सेस स्टोरीज. सक्सेस स्टोरी में तो सबको एक तारीफ करते हैं, बट व्हेन वी चोज एज एन एग्जांपल सिकोआ बैक देन, we talked to multiple founders, ones that had done well, ones who had not done well also. But if everybody speaks well, then you know you have got the right fund.
All right, thanks. There was another question here, I think, if you can get the mic here.
Hello, sir. My name is Jayant, and I'm the founder of Atithi Bharat platform that I'm creating for hotel check-ins, making them verified and digital, paperless. So currently, I'm working on making it an MVP product and deploying it in Jaipur for pilot run. So one thing that I want to ask is, as you started earlier, at that time, digital presence of and purchasing cars online was a bit challenging. Same thing that I'm doing is also somehow I think it's related to that only. So how you tackle that particular problem? What strategy used to make people aware and build trust on them?
No, I think once you start making a 10x better experience and it changes lives of the consumer, they automatically start talking about it, and a lot of word of mouth happened. We never did any marketing, not even a single rupee was spent for 7 years, and we are still the #1 site because we focused on consumer and the experience that the consumer got, and that's what makes the difference. It's like, let's say if there is a, I'll take an example. Let's say before us, people had to go to dealer to find price of a car. People had to read magazine to find where a used car is available. And वो जाता था वहाँ गाड़ी मिलती नहीं थी. तो ये एक एक्सपीरियंस है. देन सेकंड एक्सपीरियंस है जिसमें आप जो भी ढूंढो, जिस भी गाड़ी में कंपेयर कर रहे हैं, एवरीथिंग इज़ ऑनलाइन एंड एट अ टिप ऑफ फिंगर क्लिक, राइट. यूज कार की इन्वेंट्री किस डीलर के लाल रंग की होंडा सिटी है 2019 की, वो पता है. तो इट चेंज द एक्सपीरियंस. तो ऑन स्केल ऑफ 0 to 10, if I were to rate the old experience to the new one, how would you rate? Let's say मैगजीन वाला डीलर जाने का 1 दे दोगे, 2 दे दोगे. ऑनलाइन बहुत ईजी हो गया, एकदम फटाक से सब कुछ मिल रहा है, तो 8, 9 दे दोगे, 10 दे दोगे, राइट. व्हेन यू ब्रेक द एक्सपीरियंस ऑन द स्केल ऑफ 10 by 4 points, you have a disruptive product, which means अगर कोई एक्सपीरियंस पे 1, 2 की रेटिंग दे रहा है और तुम्हारे प्रोडक्ट को 7, 8 की दे रहा है, तो you have got something that can scale because you are going to disrupt the market with that. That's what happened for us. We disrupted the market because we are destroying the offline world, magazines and all. Now AI has come, so new disruption is about to happen, which can destroy us too, by the way. So practically you have to evolve and evolve and evolve with technological shifts. So I think that's how you should think. Can you give a 10x better experience to your consumer?
Thanks. There was this question from there, probably, yes.
So we'll take one last question.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, Amit sir and Anurag sir, for giving us an idea of CarDekho. That's, I mean, a brilliant idea for a startup. So my question will be a suggestion from you. Like now CarDekho is a vision, a very big vision for everyone. So my question is a suggestion, like if tomorrow a big giants like Apple, Tesla, or I can say another giant that comes into this auto retail industry. So let's take an example of CarDekho. What will be the defensive strategy of CarDekho? Or as an example for all of the startups, if a giant comes into that business for which a startup is just started their journey. So what will be, I mean, the defensive strategy, a solid defensive strategy, what CarDekho will be taking that?
Make the product better, yaar. Chalo, Ola walon ne dikha to diya EV karke, but I'll let you take that question. And that will be the final question of the evening, please.
Look, there will always be a niche. There will always be a area that a bigger company can't do. Bigger company is not agile, remember that. The smaller company is far faster. It's like a tiger and you're fighting an elephant which moves slow. So capital does not always make you win. It's the team and it's the innovation that you do on ground and how you make the consumers experience the thing. That's what changes the game, frankly. So most of the times, it's not the money that is won. Like, if you see, MySpace used to exist as a social media platform. Kodak used to exist as a photography company. All died because somebody with no money came and gave a better experience. Digital cameras took over, Facebook took over. Instagram is taking over Facebook now. Luckily, Instagram is now bought by Facebook. Otherwise, it would have been quite a mess for them also. Now, TikTok came in US. Now they are doing some $250, $300 billion of valuation itself. And nobody expected a new social media giant to exist, right? So there'll always be a space, I think, you have to pursue with perseverance and innovation. And if you make a better experience, people will come to you.
Yeah, thank you. I think what I take away from there is also that you need to keep thinking. You cannot just stop. that you've made something and that's the end of it. You'll have to.
You can't sit on the top position for long. You have to constantly push yourself to be better than what you are,
Correct.
even if you're number one.
Right. Great. Thank you so much. It's always pleasure to speak to Amit and Anurag, and we wish you all the best. Keep doing wonders from this very city. Thank you so much.